Okay, gang, week 8 mostly in the books. It was an exciting Sunday. This show is devoted to picking up some odds and ends of my film watching experience for week 8. I watch all the film, every game. Today, I will show you a great David Montgomery run, Saquon being Saquon, Auden Tate, a few funny things too, but I think we have to start with that other Buccaneers receiver, the one you might know as Duck Tats, Mike Evans. Evans can be a frustrating player for fantasy because he's up and down, but he's a good player at the top of this route. This is a savvy, subtle move against zone defense. With Jameis Winston throwing, you'd better come back because Jameis doesn't always know where the ball is going. Here's a matchup Evans took advantage of when he got a chance. He's matched on LaShawn Sims here, and watch him use his speed to get up on Sims's outside and then the back shoulder throw. So, he controls his body, goes up, contorts himself, makes the grab. Pretty sweet stuff. This is pure Jameis, and he needs a receiver to go bail him out, and Evans does. Basically, total jump ball. It's not a smart throw at the end of the first half, but Jameis Winston, not a particularly smart quarterback. He's just deciding to give his guy a chance, which, for fantasy, we will take it. And clearly Mike Evans here makes the play. And he follows it up with a red zone touchdown to close out an amazing first half. You like the little shove there to get open. Almost certainly should be called offensive interference. But I think we know. Mike Evans, strong like bull. If you just watched this Week 8 game against the Titans, you'd say, oh, well, it's all Mike Evans in that offense. He scores again, has another long ball. Who is this Chris Godwin guy anyway? Other weeks, of course, Evans' fantasy owners have been ticked off by how much Godwin, how little Evans. Next week against Seattle, you're starting both. Evans is the better, the more dominant player. Godwin is a good player too, often gets volume out of the slot. Both are usable, but days like Sunday are why I stubbornly ranked Evans ahead of Godwin for the rest of the season at harrisfootball.com. Okay, we'll be back in a minute with a bunch more Week 8 stuff. Have you been looking for a place where you can play the games online, maybe do a little handicapping? I play at BetDSI. I had a mixed week in Week 8, I have to admit, but there's always time to redeem ourselves. Monday Night Football, Dolphins getting 14 points in Pittsburgh. I was on Miami last week, and it worked. But what do you think this week? That's a lot of points. Like I say, BetDSI is where I play. I've had an account there for more than 4 years. If you're interested in starting an account, we have 2 promo codes for you. Go to BetDSI.com. If you're a frequent player, use the promo code HarrisTube. They'll match 100% of your deposit. If you'd rather make a couple of bets and then maybe cash out, use the code HarrisTube5. They'll match 5% with no extra volume requirements to cash out. Either way, BetDSI.com. Okay, we are back at it, and rookie Bears running back David Montgomery finally had a day. I'm going to show you a couple plays. This was the big one, 55 of his 135 yards, and we like it. We love 55-yard gains. The end zone replay shows, so this is a power play, it's a pulling guard, and it's a great hole produced by the Bears offensive line, and a terrible tackling angle taken by 23 Rayshon Jenkins. It's a good run, but David Montgomery should really score here, right? I do think Jordan Howard, when I watch this, I will take it, but he's run down from behind. Is he fast by NFL running back standards? I'm going to say no. This is who David Montgomery is. I mean, pretty nice footwork to stay up there, to duck, and then, oh man, is he ever strong and physical, and wow. Again, it's Jordan Howard plus, but this is what David Montgomery does best. And here was his touchdown. It was a good day. Best of all, Montgomery played 56 snaps compared to 16 for Tariq Cohen and 11 for Mike Davis at Eagles next week. It's not the place where you want to go crazy with the David Montgomery rank, but really encouraging to see this kind of signs of life. Speaking of life signs, hey, there's a Joe Mixon sighting, looking like Joe Mixon. It took a trip to the UK, and it took what actually seemed like a bad matchup against the Rams, but yeah. Dudes, pitch it to him. Good. Get him in space. This film, finally, is proof positive that Joe Mixon hasn't forgotten how to play football. Fat lot of good it does us when there isn't much room to run, but when there is, oh man, ouch, Marquis Christian. Ooh, you might not want to get in Joe Mixon's way. That is some badass pad lowering and running over of a player there. The Bengals are on bye next week. Dare we hope that they started to figure something out on the offensive line? They gave him creases a little more consistently. They let Mixon actually breathe before he got avalanched multiple times in this game, which is much more than we've been able to say this past month or so. And this is basically the same touchdown that Mixon scored last week, but in week 8 there was other good stuff to go along with it. You didn't need to feel like you were getting away with something. Cincinnati, of course, got behind in this game. Of course they did. And I don't want to get all super optimistic because when they get behind, they're not using Joe Mixon that much, but let's just hope. Baby steps for week 10. I don't have much to say about Tevin Coleman scoring 4 touchdowns. The 49ers are running great. I'm old enough to remember when people were worried that losing both of their starting offensive tackles would ruin their running game. Suffice it to say, that has not been the case. And once again in this game, Matt Breida got injured and left the game. And this time, Turkey Mayo, Tevin Coleman, went bananas. He's not this good a player. He and Breida have different strengths. Thursday night against Arizona, let's see about Breida's health, but if they're both active, each guy is usable. Certainly both would belong in the top 20 among fantasy running backs because they're playing well and that line is blasting open holes. Okay, now let's just have some fun. May I introduce you to Mr. Saquon Barkley. He is a ridiculous human being. This one stood out. He had a really nice day. He scored a touchdown, but we all just live in the world where Saquon Barkley can just, get off of me. He is a bonkers player. Am I going to show you another Auden Tate catch? I'm going to show you another Auden Tate catch. Tyler Boyd also got targets. AJ Green may be coming back after the bye. But now, practically every week, it seems Auden Tate is doing stuff like this. Dynasty owners, file it away. It's the Bengals. You're not super excited about the Bengals' offensive weapons right now, but file away this kind of catch because he's doing it a lot. We have a potential future number 1 in Cincinnati. Then there's this guy. Is that Iron Man? But in Saints colors? People are enthusiastic. How about this play from the Tampa game? Not too many times you see a wide receiver tackle his own running back, but oh baby, never put anything past the Buccaneers. Big hit by Brashad Perriman on poor Ogunbowale. Just lays him out. And let's wrap it up with less amusing, more amazing. I want you to pay attention to what turned out to be the game-winning pass by Deshaun Watson because, he's dead, right? He's dead to rights. He gets loose and he gets kicked in the face. And he throws the game winner to Daniel Fells. That's incredible, made more incredible by the replay in which it is revealed that he was kicked in the face. Unbelievable. Yeah, basically he couldn't see out of one eye for the rest of the game because, did I mention, he was kicked in the face. That Deshaun Watson, he is good. He is also very tough. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button. Write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.